readers. My name is Dawn Hughes, and I'm the coordinator for Booktrib's book club program. I'm here today with Brandi Bradley to talk about her novel, Mothers of the Missing Mermaid, the story of a daughter's quest for truth and identity. I just am obsessed with this book already. Mothers of the Missing Mermaid is one of the books taking part in Booktrib's book club program for September. Thank you so much for taking time to talk to us, Brandi.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
It's definitely our pleasure. We're excited about this book. I know the readers will be able to log on and check out like the full synopsis of the book, but what can you share about the novel that we wouldn't find on the jacket cover?
Well, that was a really kind of like tough for me. I was kind of thinking about that. So it is a crime story, and that is something that I love. I love to write crime stories. And the reason I do is because I like to think about the people who have those ripple effects that are involved in it, like not just necessarily the immediacy. And so I was thinking about when I was writing this, I wanted something that was related to the intricacies of crime, but also not violent. So it's not necessarily a thriller. It's not a violent story, but it does have all of the interesting intricacies and the consequences of our actions associated with it. So that was, so that's something to look forward to, that it is something that is not necessarily going to be super violent. I guess that would be like,
yeah,
what I would suggest.
If I wasn't already sold on the book, I would be now, because I love crime stories. And so I didn't pick that up from the synopsis, which is really cool that you have that element to it. I love that. With crime, and also, this is about a daughter's quest. She's looking for her identity. There's a lot going on here. There's some really deep themes, I think. Why do you think this book lends itself to be a book club selection?
Well, I'm kind of fascinated with the relationships between mothers and daughters, and then also relationships with found families and what constitutes a family and how families work and those dynamics, and how you can love someone and be disappointed in them, and how you can be irritated with them and so upset with them, but also know that that deep ripple of love is still there. And then also thinking about female relationships. So a lot of my characters in this book are women, and they have multi-layered relationships when it comes to supporting each other and caring for each other, but then also sometimes betraying each other. So it gets into a lot of different aspects of being a woman and also being in friendships and how you have to navigate like all of these different areas. So I think that people who are in book clubs really appreciate that.
Yes, absolutely. As a stepmom, a lot of those things resonate with me as well. So I can see how that will resonate on a global level as well. Very nice. We are going to take a step away, which is probably the hardest question from your book, and ask you, what's the best book, fiction or nonfiction, that you've read in the last year, and why?
So I read so many different things, and I think what happens is not necessarily I get hooked onto a book as much as I get hooked onto particular authors, because I will become obsessed with certain authors. So I'm obsessed with Megan Abbott. She is one of my favorite writers.
Yeah,
what she does so well, and it also goes into a lot of the themes that I like to explore, which is female relationships and sisterhood and mothers and daughters and different things. So every time she puts out a book, I'm just like very excited. And then also right now I'm super obsessed with Ruth Ware and her. Yes, like all of her stuff is just such great page turner material. Like it's so easy to just like step in and just jet right through it and just feel very like, oh yes, I finished it and it's so good. And and I love what they're doing. Also Lucy Foley, she's amazing. Big fan of hers. I do have a book that really knocked my socks out. It was one of those that I was like, oh, I wish I had written that. Ooh. And it's Julia Hepburn, and it's you're gonna have to, can I look it up? Do you mind? I wrote it down. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it slipped out of my brain. All right, so yes,
on the tip of my tongue.
Yes, it's called We Are All the Same in the Dark.
Yes,
by Julia Hepburn. Yes. I read that and I was like, oh my gosh, I wish I had wrote this book. It was just so good, like just
mind-blowing.
It just really knocked my socks off. And so I loved that one. So that would be my
I
go-to.
feel like our bookshelves would be like talking of each other. They would mirror each other. We
Could
have
be like little
similar
overlapping
tastes.
things. Oh,
Yeah,
that is my obsession, is looking at people's bookshelves. So
really.
yes, I go into someone's house, where are the books? I want to see them. When people post shelfies on Instagram and you
Yeah,
get to see like all their books, or they're on Pinterest all the time. It's like a flat lay, but it's books and they're all coordinated for theme. Like if you like this author,
yeah.
I love that stuff. I'm just a sucker for it.
When I get your book, I'll put it on my bookshelf and I'll take a picture and send it to you so you can like see your book on the shelf. I do that too. I have a couple books out as well. And I every time someone posts shelfie, I'm always like, oh, I mean, it's a long shot, but we try.
But still, it's just like, what is that? Do I have that? Should I read
Yeah,
that? Yes.
yeah,
Yeah, I have it.
yeah. Well, I have a feeling you and I could talk about books all day. But we do want people to check out your book. So I'm going to wrap this up here. But thank
Awesome.
you so much for your
Well,
time.
thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, for more information about Brandi's book, and to put it on your bookshelf, please check out the book club page on the booktrib.com website. Thank you.